Well, today we are at TeamViewer. We speak to Adina and Konstantin about what TeamViewer does for all of us connecting with people from around the world. It's going to be exciting. Welcome to Get Hired. My name is Benjamin Weller and I'm one of the co-founders of Hyrd, the early career network for students and young professionals. Get Hired is a podcast initiated to unwrap and expose the inside information of the professional world. Stay tuned to gain knowledge from our trusted sources. Welcome everyone. We are today at TeamViewer, who is headquartered in Göppingen, which is between Ulm and Stuttgart, so in a lovely town in southern Germany. And we have Adina and Konstantin with us today. Great thanks we can be here at TeamViewer's headquarters. Right. Lovely to be here.
Yeah, lovely to have you here.
Yes.
Adina, could you introduce yourself in 2 or 3 sentences?
Yeah, I'm Adina, the Talent Acquisition Director, and here at TeamViewer. So just recently joined in November, and have very broad experience when it comes to talent acquisition. So more than 17 years, and so nice being here today.
Konstantin, what about you?
So I'm a junior software engineer here at the company. Also became full-time recently. Before that, I was a student here, and this is basically my first full-time position in my working life. So far, very excited.
Wow, I can only tell from my own experience, your first full-time employeeship is like very special. So you will always remember this.
Oh, absolutely, yes. So far, absolutely the case.
Cool. Could you introduce TeamViewer a bit for our viewers?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think TeamViewer is quite famous when it comes to remote access, remote control. I think everyone works with our solution, but when it comes to, helping parents, helping grandmothers or fathers, so I think this is our home turf. So this is where we're coming from. So we have a really strong focus, product-wise, to B2C or to private persons. But nowadays, we added cutting-edge technology, which is augmented reality, artificial intelligence, and so on. So we are now diving into the industrial metaverse and so on. So we are really expanding our business and shaping for the future. Quite more. And besides our super nice product, we grew a lot in the last couple of years. So after we were founded in 2005, we with just really a handful of people who started the business here in Göppingen, and nowadays we have more than 1,400 employees working globally. So we do have more than 20 offices worldwide in big cities like Singapore, in Greece, in Portugal, of course in the US, and big hubs here in Germany.
That's super exciting, and this question of proximity, I think is to many people, close to many people's heart, because you live somewhere, however your parents live a completely different place, in particular now with people being much more mobile, being on a national or even a global level, so that really helps staying connected.
Yeah, actually. And we have a really strong purpose, which I really like. So we are creating a world that works better. I think there's so much in this small sentence, and exactly what you just mentioned. So, it's not only for private users, but it's for companies as well. So we are, reducing the carbon footprint. We help, in the industry, or in other areas, we just make things easier. You have to travel less. And you can just do your job in remote, so fully in remote, and you have just a really smart solution for that. Honestly. But especially when it comes to customers who have some, machines far away, or where it's really you have to travel 2 or 3 days to go there. So we really make a difference with our products. Imagine all of the high-skilled technicians. So they, have to jump to this client, to that client, to this, and solve this problem and that. And so it's just impossible to fly these people around the globe for the entire time. So this would really stress them out. And it's just impossible, right? So this is where then our solution just makes sense, to make lives easier.
And also work-life balance. Yes. Also has a big impact, right? So when you think about someone who does a lot of business traveling, you can't really schedule a an evening with friends in a bar, because there will always be something. Okay, sorry guys, I have to cancel, and now you can like close your computer, go to the bar.
Yeah.
That's actually pretty cool, and it would be so cool to see, well, how many tons of carbon dioxide have been saved just because like people switched from planes to TeamViewer.
Yes. Yeah, we are currently working on things. We are really, we want to analyze the impact that we really have, because I think so we have strong, strong goals when it comes to carbon, to be carbon neutral. Yeah. So in the future, so we have the goal to reach that latest in 2025. But I mean, this is not just a goal. Yeah. So I think it's even more. So we are making a huge impact on the environment, and especially when it comes to sustainability. So
I've always been in touch since I was like younger. For example, helping my grandmother just with TeamViewer. It was so easy when she got like a smartphone to just be able to help her somehow, because otherwise she would drive there, and she's living quite far away. Again, saving some gas. I mean, this is a very small example, but it's basically the whole idea.
Well, I think you mentioned purpose quite a bit, and for both of you, it was a reason to join TeamViewer. So, how do you communicate purpose within the interview process, before the interview process?
So, I mean, I think the first touch point is, of course, so when we're approaching people directly in the market or within our ads. So we do have the purpose in there, we have our core values in there, and I think this is kind of related to it. So, I mean, we are quite bold when it comes to the purpose and sharing it. Like, I mean, it's all over the place, I would say, in the market, with our the slogan, creative work that works better. But I mean, I would really love to share our core values, because this is something that we just, we recently worked on, and we just published it. And I think this is something that is really related to that. So I think it starts with, we are a family. And I think this is something that when I think of TeamViewer, so this is really what makes a difference here. So it's like a truly global company working hand in hand, and from day one you have the feeling like you're really part of something big, and we have a global onboarding. So so this is something that really matches and is going hand in hand, and we are curious. So this is the next value that we have, and I think everyone that you will meet at TeamViewer, like hopefully us as well. So we are kind of curious. We want to learn more. We are dedicated to the company, and we just we want to make an impact. This is a third value that we have. So like we really want to make a difference here, and I think everyone who is joining the company or who went through the interview processes, I think they get a flavor of that we are really making something big. And I mean, like the entire thing with sustainability and the things that we are doing here and there, it's visible on our website, on our career site, and so on. Yeah.
How did TeamViewer change in the recent years? Because like obviously working from home, working decentralized became a super big topic, not only because of the pandemic, but it was probably one of the triggers, maybe the biggest trigger.
I would not say it was the biggest trigger. So we were already there, so to realize, okay, we have to make a shift here and there. And I mean, so we are headquartered in southern Germany. So we are, of course, like one big team, one family. So I think this is the initial thought. Yeah. So we would really like to bring people together. So this is why we were sticking to be in the office and meet in person. And I mean, like most of the companies, so we changed it a bit. So nowadays we are in most of the areas at TeamViewer with a 60-40 hybrid model. So 60% work from home and 40% in the office. And I think this changed when it comes to this hybrid work style. But at the end, I think for us it's just important to meet. And I mean, we spoke about that one when you entered our headquarters, and we spoke about our famous stair that we have here in Göppingen. So you meet people, you were solving some issues right on the stairs, and it's just and you're saving time. And if you would work fully in remote, it would just like be another virtual call. So this is, and I mean, this is something that we are not stressing, but that we are really challenging bit when it comes to interview process with candidates.
You mentioned before, next big thing is metaverse, augmented reality. How can I picture that?
Yeah, I mean, it's not only the next big thing, so we are like in the middle of it already. So we are using smart glasses, for example. So, and this is also something where we are using AR technologies. So, I think two or 3 years ago, so we bought another company like Ubimax, and they are really focused on AR technologies, and we are making things when it comes to manufacturing environments easier. Yeah, so we do, and I mean, if you're just imagining some pickers in a manufacturing company, so they can just wear glasses, and it's just like you see where you have to drop some things or catch some things, and it's even counting the number of things that you just picked up, and it just makes lives easier and make it more predictable. Yeah, so we're like really into that.
It's incredible how real it is.
Yeah, actually it is, and I mean it's not that scary using our smart glasses, right? So you don't have to feel that you're constantly falling
off something.
No, it's not the case. It's rather really smart. I tried them during my onboarding, and it's just like super nice. So you're just walking around, and you're just walking around like you're just wearing some glasses, and you can see everything, and you can even lock somebody like sitting somewhere else. Look onto your glasses, and then he can even draw some things, and so he can really help you. And I mean, it could be me not really into technical things, and it could be me changing some things in a server room, with just the help of someone else who's just seeing the things that I see. Because I mean, this is something that everyone can relate to. You're standing in front of something that you have no idea what to do, and then somebody says, it's the yellow cable, and you're like, okay, there are 4, and then he can, and the other one can even draw a line and really explicitly say it's this yellow cable, so just drop it out or I don't know, switch it.
I think there's this like amazing example of like a few years ago, it was like that the technicians needed to fly like all over the world to repair machines. And nowadays, with especially this example, you can just tell them you can sit in front of your monitor and mark them what should they do. Which cable do you need to plug out, plug in, all of this. And I think this is super convenient.
It's absolutely incredible because like I think a lot is still lost in video conferences when you don't have the chance to like kind of not physically meet, but kind of on a meter level meet with people, like standing in front of a whiteboard, for example, and to share some ideas. It's still something I kind of miss when working online, and therefore this could be an amazing game changer as well. So
and it is really a game changer. And I mean, this is the smart glass and AR technologies is one thing, but you also asked about metaverse and so on. So it's not only that we use AR technology here, but we can also just jump on some like a coffee machine. So we have a big client here, and just speak or manage and control and repair machines. Yes.
That is incredibly useful. So we the other day we had a problem with our coffee machine in the office. I called their hotline and I was like, if you change this and this, okay, but it still doesn't work. Okay, then you have to go to the post office, ship it to us, and it's like, okay, so I will be without a coffee machine for 2 weeks. Are you serious? Yeah.
Please suggest TeamViewer for the future. We have the solution in place. We could make a difference.
That's actually great because thankfully someone could help me because I was like completely freaking out. Yeah. But okay, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
I love that idea.
Yeah.
So what kind of people do work at TeamViewer?
Super diverse people work at TeamViewer, and pretty. I think this is something that we stand for as well. Super open-minded people. Yeah. So this is something that we are proud of as well. We have more than 80 different nations working for TeamViewer, and it's like come as you are. So we don't judge, and we just invite everyone to join this company and make it even better, and to just take over some responsibility. Yeah. So you can find lots of different nationalities, backgrounds, and people here. Yeah, so we do have no dress code, so it's just like however you feel. Yeah.
So means also here at your headquarters, it's very international. If I don't speak any German, I will be fine.
Yes, of course. So we do have the English as a company language, and we are even so it just needs one person who's not speaking German, and then we are constantly switching, and I think most of my meetings are in English. I think
Same
for you
for me,
as well,
actually.
right? Yeah.
Great. You both talked about your onboardings, and you also told me already that, well, purpose was the main reason to join TeamViewer. What were other reasons why you joined TeamViewer? Because it's like exciting and you're working on topics that concern the future?
Yeah. Yes, and for me it was the people that I was interviewed with. So, I really liked the approach. So it was super easy, like working here. It's challenging, yes, but it's super easy, and people are just friendly. So, and again, and I can say that as a working mom. So nobody asked me some questions as a woman. Yeah, and I this is really bad, but I was used to that. Yeah, so nobody judged, and it was just like. We are having some cases, so we are challenging you during the interview process, but it's kind of really focusing on the professional background that you have. Yeah. So, and this was one of the main triggers for me.
So for me, it was actually a bit of like a longer thing, since originally I'm coming from Göppingen, or very close by from the area. Then I moved away for studying, and I always knew about this company at one point because you read about it, you use it sometimes with friends, and then I realized, since I was going into like direction of computer science, I kind of figured it sounds really cool, and then I read through all of it, what they're doing, and I was super excited. So I did it as like an internship during my studies, and then I started as working student. And then like it's also the people, like you were saying, like the whole team environment. You can speak to everyone will help you. You can just get up from your seat, go to your colleague, or go over the hallway or someplace else, and someone will help you. It's super open-minded here, and that's what I love about this company.
Cool. So I have another question regarding you as a working mom, because I love that story, and I think it's something that, well, many of our viewers concern that, well, how can my career progress despite having kids? And why do I say despite? Because it's still reality that career happens despite kids.
Yes, of course. I mean, so I think I'm successful, and I can really focus on my career because I have I think the best husband, right? so I said, yeah, well, thanks for him. Thanks to him.
We can't share that, right?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
You can't share your husband there.
No, and I won't. But I mean, besides that fact, I mean, to be really honest, it's a struggle, yeah. And I mean, I'm now 3 days a week. I'm here in the headquarters. I'm living in Munich. But I think the company makes it quite easy, and I never faced some issues here. And I mean, yesterday we celebrated the International Women's Day, and everyone shared their experiences. And I mean, I think women can relate to that. And I mean, even men, yeah. So it could be the other way around. Like with myself, and nobody judges here. So it's just like, then you're just a working mom. So and I mean, we have flexible working hours, which makes lives easier as well. Yeah, so we can, you can just be flexible and use work-life balance and just do your thing. And I even know some fathers here at TeamViewer who are just getting the children out of the kindergarten, and then leaving TeamViewer earlier, and then working a bit later. So this is super flexible, but nevertheless, it's challenging.
Well, I totally understand that. However, it's still, of course, the circumstances that it make either stuff easier, much easier, or much harder, perhaps. And it's so cool that what you tell us about how it works at TeamViewer and how how it works in conjunction. Basically, that's like a great thing, great thing to learn. And Konstantin, was that also a reason for you that you knew about the flexible working hours, the general approach to flexibility, general approach to, hey, how can we make it work for our employees?
Absolutely. I love the whole matter of fact of like flexible working hours. Let's say you have a doctor's appointment, you don't need to take the day off, you just tell your team, okay, I'll be gone for like 2 hours, so I'll work a bit more in the evening, and that's it. It's super simple. And also, like, concluding to like this topic that you also had, like my team manager, for example, he also went on parental leave, and then the role was just filled. It all went very smoothly. Like, he just came back actually a few like weeks ago, and was also super smooth, like all of this. And also I have quite a few colleagues who are also sometimes leaving because they need to pick up their children and something, and it all works super smoothly.
I think so. And now when I'm thinking, when I'm listening to you, I think TeamViewer is just an easy company. So yes, challenging and everyone is really hands-on. But I just thought about our work from abroad program. So at TeamViewer you can take 40 days, and work from abroad. And based on the fact that we have so many different nationalities, some of or most of the people want to visit their families, right? And usually they have to take, 2 or 3 weeks off to just visit home. And then, so it's kind of different. So it's super flexible and you just, have to play. So it's kind of a formality and speak with your manager. And then it takes like 1 or 2 months. And then you can just work from abroad in your hometown and, be with your family, which is super nice.
How did you come up with those ideas?
I think basically it's coming from our colleagues. So a few weeks ago I visited the Karlsruhe office, for example, and we were just sitting together and just speaking to each other, and there were some ideas coming up, and then we were just analyzing if we should implement it. And of course, we are a smaller company, right? And so even we are 1,400 employees, it's still kind of a smaller one, and of course we are looking what the bigger companies are doing in the market, and then just making some decisions if we should implement some things or not.
It sounds really cool that you do everything to support your employees to deliver the very best. And Konstantin, how can I picture your day?
So my day, I'm basically coming in like when I work from the office, let's say. Otherwise from home it's roughly the same, to be honest. Like just coming in, basically getting the first coffee, sitting down, reading emails, checking like everything that has been done. Like for me, it's checking if like my work from yesterday. Sometimes like as a developer, you need to like build what you've done. So I do that at the end of the day, and then the next day I check if it worked or not. If there's some mistakes, I need to check those. Then sometimes I check, like we get customer tickets, like let's say there's some problems for a customer. At one point, if it seems to be really a problem, it comes to us as developers, and then we have a look into those. And then sometimes meetings. So the day's roughly like that. But often also when I'm in the office, taking coffee breaks with colleagues, just walking out on the terrace. Because after this, often work goes a little bit better, to be honest, when you get your head a bit free, when you get like freedom of mind somehow. Because like my office is right behind the terrace, so you can always step out, go to the coffee place, and there's always people. Like you always meet the people there. And sometimes even like you just talk to someone about your problem, they have a solution for you, and suddenly it works.
It's really cool indeed. So, so how many days do you spend at the office, and how many days do you spend at home?
I tend to switch it up from week to week, like 3 to 2 days in the office, but generally Mondays and Fridays I'm at home, and sometimes there's something else. Let's say a technician is coming, so on Tuesdays or Thursdays, and then I'm also home at this day, but generally like 3 days in the office. Since like my team and I, we also decided for Wednesdays to all of us be in the office, because we have the most meetings there and we like to have those in person, because it just feels a bit more interactive when you're like in person there.
Can you talk a bit about the product you're working on?
Oh, surely. So we talked about like the main product and all of this, and I'm specifically working on the remote management section. Which is still like a very much growing section. We add new features there like every month practically. And this is basically used for monitoring your devices. Like this is specifically like for smaller and bigger businesses, for example, and to manage all of your devices. To somehow like protect them, like endpoint protection basically, to monitor all of those, to see what your devices are doing. Is like, this device has a problem, let's reboot it. We can also do that from home. We can like manage this via our management portal and all of those things. So to really like just manage all of your devices as a company, and to not need to worry about like an IT person coming there, or your IT has much less to worry about it. So that is roughly the product. And specifically myself, I'm working for the endpoint protection product. So antivirus product. So
how were you received? So when you started here, so you told us already, you finished an internship here at TeamViewer, but then you decided it was like, okay, I really like it over here, I'm going to join in a full-time position.
Basically, yes. So in my studies, we had like something like a mandatory internship. So I started out as that, and in the beginning, I was a bit scared of like, it was my first time working in like a professional environment, but honestly, everyone was super open about it, and like no one expected you to know everything. I mean, of course not, you're a student. And I think the main thing that they want from me here, and which is totally understandable, is to be eager to learn and to like ask questions, which is totally understandable. And therefore, I felt like very welcome from day one, to be honest. I mean, in the beginning, it was actually still remote because it was end of COVID, so everything was still very remote. But then, very soon after 2 months, we had a team meeting, like meet and greet, where we went to a restaurant, and there I met everyone, and it was super welcoming. And after that, more people came to the office, and that's also how I perceived it from the beginning. Then I actually wrote my bachelor thesis then also for the company, and then become working student. So a lot of like different phases of student, intern, and everything. And after this, I really decided for myself I wanted to work for this company because it is like a big family, honestly. And then I applied for the full-time position.
Yeah, it sounds really cool. So they couldn't get rid of you.
No, definitely not. Definitely not.
Yeah, we didn't try.
I mean, hopefully not.
That's pretty cool. So at TeamViewer, also your bachelor thesis was supported, and then you could every step of your studies you could do together with TeamViewer.
Exactly. Absolutely.
That's very fascinating. And then, so when you were done with your with your masters, started your full-time contract. So how did things change then at all for you? Because you were like basically part of the team already.
Not so much. Like, of course, the responsibility gets more and more. Like, the more you get to know everything, that's of course the case. Because back then, sometimes you could tell them, of course, I have something big coming up in the university, so I'm going to work a bit less. That's very flexible as a working student. And just now I'm here like 40 hours per week, roughly. So that's the main difference, actually. But I honestly gotta say it didn't change too much because I knew the team already. It was already the same vibe going on, the same communication. That's why I really love that, to be honest, because it didn't feel like a big change to me.
So how's your trajectory, so to say? So when you talk to your team leaders, what are the next steps for you?
The next steps, honestly, improving. I want to improve in every direction like that I can. I try to tackle all the issues. Basically, I think my position was being told to only be in the back-end area, but I want to improve in all of the areas, which I also communicated to my team lead and all of those, and they really appreciate that. And also, I think they support it very well. So I'm always trying out new things and getting help from my colleagues and trying to improve myself in any sort of the way. And then I definitely aspire to be professional software engineer, and after that maybe senior and so on, but building one step after the other.
You already mentioned that you do have lots of offices around the world, many offices in Germany. So how does internal mobility look like at TeamViewer?
You mean international career path or possibilities?
Exactly. So you mentioned Karlsruhe office. So if Konstantin were okay, well, for whatever reason, I'm going to Karlsruhe now because Baden and Württemberg, that perfectly matches.
Yes, he's free to do that then. So our strategy is so when it comes to external hires, to hire the best talent in the market, no matter where they're sitting or living. Yeah. So then we are trying our best to bring someone in one of our offices, of course. But if Konstantin wants to, to move somewhere else, then it's just an HR issue, and we will just solve it. And we have so many really great examples. So there's currently a really, really nice colleague from the US for 1 year, and she's a mother as well. Some mother of, I think, 2 children, and she's now currently supporting the customer support in Adelaide. So she's just over, our chief of staff, he just went to the US. So this is something that is super open and really easy to solve here at TeamViewer. So you can just apply internally for international positions and or change your office.
Yes, that's pretty cool indeed. So we have here someone who is in the development area, someone from HR. Yeah. So do you have any other roles at TeamViewer other than HR and development?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. We do have a really big marketing department and sales, of course. Then engineering. But you're an engineer, but there is product management as well. Yeah, which is also a big department. Yeah, and I mean, besides HR, so I mean, HR is part of GNA. Yeah, so we do have all of the different departments or sub departments, let's say, when it comes to GNA. Yeah.
So I think Konstantin's stories is really cool. So that he changed, that he joined very, very early in his career, basically at minus years of work experience. It's actually pretty cool indeed. So what are the different stages where I can join TeamViewer?
Yeah, so you could join like Konstantin did as a student intern for master or bachelor thesis, and then I mean like a junior, and of course as a senior as well. Yeah, so we are hiring in all areas, and I mean currently so we have plenty of open positions. Yeah, so you can join everywhere.
What is not the guarantee to be successful at TeamViewer, but what are very good preconditions?
I think to be open-minded and to be just like communicative and just open, and I mean like I will just pick one of our values: be curious and want to make an impact. So I think this is it. So I think we still have this hands-on mentality. So it's like a grown startup, yes, but still a startup. So it's not like really standardized. So we have some structures in place, but it's not really that structured. So you can make a difference. You can leave some footprints, and just bring yourself into this company and make a difference.
Be yourself.
Yes. Yeah. That sums it up.
Cool.
I would also add one small thing here. Basically, don't be afraid to make mistakes.
Yeah.
And don't be afraid to. And then, if you make mistakes, are open to listen to other people, because that's very good here. Like you can just talk to everyone and take every advice you can and be like eager to learn, and that really helps, honestly.
Yeah.
Great to bring this up, because it was one of my next questions. So given you of course carry a lot of responsibility with all the connections you make, with all the infrastructure you provide. So therefore, well, making mistakes is then like very possible, however not very desirable. But at the same time, it's a question of how you deal with it.
Yeah, so we have a positive work culture. So this is the one thing. But when it comes to our product solution, so one of our values that I didn't mention so far is quality. Yeah, so we are really sticking to quality. And I mean, when it comes to our solution, security, it is, right? So this is our main focus, and this is something that we are really good at. And I mean, you read in all of the newspaper articles and online, so there's so many things happening in the tech area currently. So scammers, and I mean they're getting better, and we have to be ahead of them. So we have a dedicated team that is only focusing on security, and I mean we are still offering, and we will continue that, offering the free version of our software for everyone when it comes to private persons and or social institutions, which is super nice, that we are doing that. But on the other hand, it's like a bigger security issue, and we are aware of that, and therefore we have to really stick to a high quality and security.
So how many people do use TeamViewer?
It's actually a super high number. So currently we have 2.5 billion installations.
Wow.
But this is a super big number, and you can compare it with Facebook users worldwide. So I think this is really nice. And this number includes, of course, of the private users and clients that are using the software.
That's absolutely remarkable. I think it's always like in terms of billions, it's like really hard to imagine, indeed.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and I mean, in our modeling, it was stated, and then I think to compare it with Facebook /Meta, so it's been you really get a better understanding of the impact that we have with our software.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool, indeed. Thank you so much for all your insights. I found this incredibly interesting. So how much you guys have changed how people interact in different locations with each other, being close despite being worlds apart. It's pretty cool indeed. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you guys for listening in, for watching our video, and we have of course all the information around TeamViewer in the description, so check this out and stay in touch. See you next time.